Alright, here is my video explanation on how to construct a square, and then after the square it is going to be an explanation on how to construct the kite. Okay, and both of them I'm going to start with a perpendicular bisector. That is going to be a straight line, and then using these circles centered at the endpoints stretching to the other endpoints. So that was the first one, stretching now to the back to the other endpoint. So I have two circles equal radius with these intersection points on top and bottom. And then to make the perpendicular bisector, just connecting those circle intersections. Okay. Again, this one is going to be the construction of the square, and what I'm going to need is equal side lengths here. And one way that I always like to get equal side lengths is to use a circle and make sure the radius is the same. And so I stretch out from this center point, the midpoint of my original line, stretch out to one of my beginning points there. And now you can see that this distance from here to here is the same, here to here is the same, here to here, and lastly, here to here are all the same. And that's great, because now I see 4 points around this circle or on the circle that are equidistant. And so I can connect those points, ultimately creating my square here. I like to hide the mess that's created with it, hide some of this in the middle here, hide the endpoints on the outside, and you can clearly see that this is a square that cannot really be altered. Further proof, and something I like to do, is measure the side lengths to make sure they are all equal. I'm highlighting them all, I'm labeling them all, and it's giving me that they are the length. And even when I expand it or shrink it, it still is a square. I can also check their angle measurements to make sure that they're all 90 so that this isn't a rhombus, and it looks good to me. 90s, 90s, 90s all the way around. And one last one just to be safe, and there we have the square construction. Next is going to be the kite, so I'm going to erase my square, and I'm going to start over doing the same thing. I'm going to create a line segment with a perpendicular bisector through it. Perpendicular bisector is again these circles stretching over, same radius that intersect. Creating my line or my perpendicular bisector, and I'm even going to repeat this step where I include a circle here. Okay? Because right now, if I try to connect these points, I'm going to ultimately create a rhombus. Okay? What I kind of want is the legs of a rhombus, because I want these two lengths to be equal, but I want the top to be a square. So here's what I'm going to do to complete that. I'm going to use this circle tool, stretch it out like I would as if I was creating the square again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my points here and I'm going to shorten them so that these are still equal distance, right? These are still an equal distance. However, what I'm going to do for my bottom legs are going to use the legs of a rhombus. So instead of stretching down to this point, I'm going to stretch to the far point. And you can see the shape of a kite forming, and it'll be more clear once I hide some of the mess. Hiding these, and you can see the kite. The kite should have these top two being equal, the bottom two being equal. We can highlight these side lengths to make sure that is the case. Label those, and we see that 243, 243, 344, 344. Even if I was to stretch, those lengths stay the same. Okay, that is the kite, and the before was the square. Any more questions with constructions, continue to reach out.